Today, between the studio, we get Honorable Hon Tawa, Conteh, Deputy Speaker of Parliament, where they come talk about the Auditor General report where they don't table in Parliament, that is 2023, and other issues that relate to Parliament. At this time, I want to say good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon, and Happy New Year.
Good morning, up to you. Good morning, Sierra Leoneans. Happy New Year to all Sierra Leoneans.
Okay, continue for day with we inside the program. As now inside the program, we they look at another issue. USAI as Parliament through the Public Account Committee. Don't we look inside the 2023 Auditor General report. The chairman for the Public Account Committee, Honorable Hon Tawa, Conteh asked the management of ZoodLab for submit payment plan of $700,000 as part of the agreement where they're supposed to pay for digital fund. It took this way the committee be the engaged workman from ZoodLab for sake of the 2023 audit report. For more on this level, listen to Chino Jallo.
The 2023 audit report where audit service salon do now we show say plenty couple they will government official na ministry department and agency no be able to account for inside the year 2023. And as per law, where this report can come out, Parliament can take them and begin for look inside to the Public Account Committee. And just like any other reports that don't come out before now, the 2023 report, now the Public Account Committee, don't begin for look inside. Inside the first day of the Public Account Committee hearing, we remember them na Parliament all for sake of the 2023 audit report. ZoodLab now be the first company for appear before the committee with plenty issues them, according to Honorable Hon Tawa Conteh. As he talk about the money them, when he say audit service salon report shows say this company no pay to government.
So the point is we would have to look at all of that, but for what is before us, you are supposed from the period June 2021 to date, you are supposed to pay or to have paid government $1,260,000. Is that so?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, and it was paid. Because the scope of the clearance is not only limited to...
Let's do it one after the other. You are supposed to pay government that, right?
It was paid.
How much have you paid into the account?
The total amount has been paid.
How much have you paid into the account?
Total money from our environment to the government fully covers the spirit and the terms of the contract.
But this response from workman and ZoodLab, now one way Honorable Hon Tawa Conteh not being grieved for.
You are covering a period that is outside the account. Yeah. Mr. Idris has told us that he has paid 480,000.
So total direct paid into the account is 480. Right? So the spirit of the executive clearance states it was not only limited to end of service benefit, Mr. Chair. It was agreed that it's going to be used for not only end of service benefits but set up of digital infrastructure. So in the spirit, it was used, this particular aspect of the list payer that was supposed to go to the government, or that went to the government, was used in the spirit of setting up a digital infrastructure asset on behalf of the government. So that part of the expenditure, based on the detail of the executive clearance, was not only limited to end of service benefits. It's also extended to the scope. We can provide it to you. Yeah.
But with this executive clearance, where ZoodLab they talk about, now one way Honorable Hon Tawa Conteh, they say not valid because how they say the ZoodLab company they don't sign agreement with government where Parliament they don't agree for what they don't go by.
No correspondences from anybody is nothing. From anybody in the ministry, whether it's from Mumini, whether it's from the minister, without the approval of cabinet or clearance, is nothing. And even if it has the approval of cabinet, if you go to court, I will still file in a counter that it is not approved by Parliament. You have an agreement that was approved by Parliament. So whatever payment you make is void. You can go recover your money from that person. I can still recover the money from you. So when you are saying, oh no, I don't agree, I disagree, you have an agreement ratified by this Parliament and a certificate issued. And that agreement has to be covered in full. So whatever surrogate agreement that was made, for me, I know you are still owing me 780,000, and I need a payment plan for it.
With this explanation from Honorable Hon Tawa Conteh, being clear, say workman and ZoodLab don't get clear understanding about the whole issue will make them put forward this request.
I think I fully understand the point and where you're coming from, Mr. Chairman. But what I would like to kindly ask for is now that it's clear, the position of the committee is that the committee only recognizes funds that were paid into the designated account. However, from a private company's perspective, and this is all about, doing business, the certainty. In government, there are 56 different kind of organs, institutions. It makes it very confusing. If every step you have to take, there is no single point of contact that says, we have done our due diligence within government, everything is okay. When we say do it this way, it's okay, you can do it this way. If private institutions have to come back in 15 different angles on a single issue, because, organ A says you got it wrong with organ B, and the other time you come again and organ B says that organ A was not even supposed to do that, it creates a lot of confusion from a private sector. So what we will kindly ask this committee is a way to get leave of the committee, go back to the partners with the ministry. And
with this appeal for make the committee adjourn this sitting and find time when they look inside and proper one, the committee being agreed for the adjournment. And so to that same day, the Public Accounts Committee in Parliament, they continue for look inside the audit report, so they invite different ministry, department and agency them for can clarify issue them with the Auditor General talk about them office. For the Society for Radio Democracy, me, Nachem Nojalo.
And the program Good Morning Salon, they continue as you get from the reports today. We talk to the Chairman Public Account Committee with the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Hon Tawa Conteh. We go talk about the 2023 audit report. We then don't start for look inside as that reports now one of the sittings them with the Public Account Committee don't hold on 2023 audit report. Honorable Hon Tawa Conteh, good morning again and welcome to the program Good Morning Salon.
Good morning, Musa. Good morning, Sierra Leoneans.
Okay, before we look at the 2023 audit report, the Public Account Committee don't they look at audit report in the past. But before we look at even that, look at within at the role of the Public Account Committee within Parliament in terms of transparency and accountability.
Thank you very much, Musa. The Public Accounts Committee now one of the standing committees them where the 1991 Constitution of Sierra Leone creates in section 93(1). That is to say, now a committee where no they dissolve by sessional transition in Parliament. So any proclamation by the president for end one session and begin another session, no, they affects the work of the Public Accounts Committee, the Legislative Committee, the Finance Committee, Transparency and Accountability Committee, and Ethics Committee of Parliament. These are standing committees. And further to that, if you go to section 94(1) of the Constitution says Parliament they regulate itself, and part of the documents the Parliament they use for regulating itself are the standing orders of Parliament. So in the parliamentary standing orders, he set up the functions of the Public Accounts Committee. Part of the functions, first, the statutory responsibility for chair of the committee, followed by the standing order SO 70 paragraph 6, saying that the Deputy Speaker of Parliament now the chairman for the committee. SO 76B, C and D give specific roles for the Public Accounts Committee to perform. One of which now for review the Auditor General's reports and present a report to Parliament. The other now the power for examine the account of boards, commission, public enterprises, and other agencies of government. So hence, if you look at the way Parliament they make law, you go see say in every legislation where they pass, there is a provision where I call the financial provision. In that financial provision, they require every agency for submit an audited account to Parliament, a report and audited account. So in the spirit of the standing orders, it is the Public Accounts Committee who also get powers there for look into the account of all them public enterprises and the corporation and agencies.
So in terms of Ona outline that of the Public Account Committee, once we don't make clear that they give you the audit report anytime we come or any year. Before we look at the 2023, just like how my co-presenters say, take we through in previous report, especially 2021 and 2022 audit report, we not conclude on it.
Well, I want to say we not conclude on it. Firstly, Now that I take over as Deputy Speaker of Parliament in June. And since June, I became automatically by the position the chairman for the Public Account Committee. And I realized, say, there were hanging issues around the 2021 and 2022 audit reports.
Okay.
And these two reports, now report where both the Anti-Corruption Commission and the Public Accounts Committee in the Parliament self be done the year before me. But I realized that there are hanging issues there, so we need to resolve them before we even receive this 2023 report. So as such, I drive the committee for let we able to get an engagement on the two reports simultaneously. So leading into that engagement day, we will get several other pre-engagement with audit service for giving a debrief on the issues that will be there in the two reports, and then we start for review them.
When are some of the issues?
The issues are almost the same every year. The issues are the same. There are procurement irregularities, there are transactions, payments made without adequate supporting documents, there are violation of public financial management procedures, there are money spent without necessary approval, there are bypassing procurement arrangements. Say for example, you enter into a framework agreement, and in that framework agreement, the framework agreement is for a definite period, but you decide for circumvent the framework and spend money outside the framework agreement. So the issues in the audit have been the same right through. And contracts breaches between governments and private entities, where government they enter into the private entities either not paying their royalties properly, or not paying at all, or not calculating their payments, or using government facilities without paying. Get for do with other issues that get for do with duty waivers and concessions granted to businesses without parliamentary approval, excess spending by ministries, departments and agencies. So the issues are the same.
Okay. When you start to look at the 2021, 2022 audit reports, you will get a specific amount, or you will get a target for recover. Would that be that target, and how far you go for recover, then Kopoya will be lost inside 2021, 2022 audit reports?
The target was 50 billion. We targeted to recover 50 billion out of it. But because of the short space of time, because I took over in June, and we had only June, July, August, September, and October. So from November, December, Parliament not able for hear any other thing because now the budget period, and we stand in order. Say when once the budget is before Parliament, no other activity goes on until we complete the budget. So it means November and December is out of it. So in the 6 months where I took over, the committee, I had only 4 months to review. So in that 4 months, we could not exhaustively look at all of the issues. Thankfully enough, the audit issues, they need to become stale. Audit issues know the best. Hence the report is before Parliament, and we not conclude that aspect there. We can still present our report and go back to the aspect there. And luckily enough that most of the aspects will not cover. For example, the donor-funded project like the Gavi, the Sierra Leone Free Quality Education Project and the likes, they are in this audit report. And most of the issues the way they raised in that audit report there, now just a continuation, addition of what raised in 2022. For example, non-payment of withholding taxes by the project, or non-deduction of PAYE by the project from employees where they run in contravention with the Income Tax Act of 2000, or non-payment of GST, or GST deducted and not paid to NRA where they in violation of the GST Act of 2009. So these are issues that will be there, but we'll not be able to look at them because we will get critical issues that will be there around claiming tax credits by big businesses without getting adequate supporting document for justify the claim.
So the issue about recovering money where some people can misuse and later agree to and later for pay, I would not see ACC they do the same role. Also, then go say this money then go submit or present to President BO. Now for money they won't fend people and wanting for and they later pay. When are the difference between recovering of money from audit report to where they do and that of the Anti-Corruption Commission?
Well, I don't know. Before now, I don't say I had a conversation with the commissioner when I became chairman of the committee, and in all honesty, in our conversation, we agreed that a vacuum had existed in the PAC. So because that vacuum had existed, somebody needs to fill that vacuum.
Okay.
And the ACC, as part of the accountability bodies, in Sierra Leone. Let's not forget there are accountability bodies, and the head of the accountability bodies, or the head of the accountability bodies in Sierra Leone, is Parliament. So it is Parliament, it is the Audit Service, it is ACC, it is National Public Procurement Authority, it is Internal Audit. All of these bodies are accountability bodies. They look at transparency and financial transaction issues, were guided by almost the same instruments. But the difference here is Parliament has the sole power on the audit report because it is submitted to it. The Auditor General is an extension of Parliament. Hence, whenever the need for the removal of the Auditor General arises, the requirement in section 137 now that it is Parliament that will make the final determination because it works for us. So what will they do and what the ACC they do, not so the same, because the audit report is ours. The only thing what would they do with the ACC now that when they investigate, if we find anything we corruptible, we need investigation and prosecution, because they have prosecutorial powers, we can refer it to them to be prosecuted. We can as well refer the matter directly to the High Court. It is the prerogative of the committee to say we are channeling it to this accountability body or to the court itself.
But ACC still the call out institution individually on where then things that the audit report mention of misuse of copper and all. Then do I said they will say they highlight some certain institution and for say they wire flout tax payments and other things. Why don't they do the same thing as well?
Well, I think say if you look at after the press conference where the commissioner and the ACC gets, you realize say we wrote back to him reminding him of the provisions in the constitution.
Okay.
And as an erudite lawyer, a man that is dangerously educated, I know he knows exactly what is the provision and what the provisions are, and I'm sure he would stay off the audit report and allow Parliament for doing work, because the audit report is ours and the audit report is submitted to Parliament until we conclude the review on any issue where Parliament deemed corruptible can be referred to them. Because at the end of the day, there is no hidden intention. This is the first time in the history of Sierra Leone that Sierra Leoneans, them everywhere in the world, can sit by the click of their phone, go to any social media handle, and they will see their Parliament and their parliamentarians reviewing live on television, live streaming the audit report.
I think we can look at the issue where ACC don't raise, because when audit reports been come out on 10 back, we see a release from the ACC or a call that now then get right for look into the audit report. But we can look at that in detail. Earlier, you make mention that when you review 2021-2022 audit report, you set yourself a target of 15 billion leons. But because of challenges then, where you don't mention you able to achieve that, how much you able to collect of that 15 billion will be set yourself as a target?
Yeah, of the 50 billion, we were able to raise about 30 plus billion from different handles. And the difference between the PAC and any other body, now that when we recover, we are guided by the law. Recovery is done from the audit report, goes back to, according to law, goes back to the agencies. We for implement that project, they for implement the project, sorry. So the various amount that we recover, for example, the amount we recover for UADF, 10.5 from monies where MNOs they owe them, we are paid back into the account and they have it. The money they will recover from the big businesses that we claim tax credits, we no longer supporting documents, was paid back into the NRA account. Other small and medium taxpayers, them, for example, most even IS diplomatic security, the office world and the likes, were paid back into the NRA account. The money they will recover from the agricultural and mechanization, the machinery operation, were paid into the agricultural and mechanization account. So all of these funds were paid, and the PAC and Parliament did not request any interest or whatever paid back to we as service charge.
During the audit report, when they look during the PAC meeting looking into this audit report, the PAC don't get issue with the National Revenue Authority. In some situation, when the PAC want call businesses them way then think say no pay tax, or they don't fail not say no pay tax or not pay tax properly or not pay the right tax, NRA can come say no, not call them, name them, because they go against A, B, C, D. How the PAC able to do them work and ensure say the integrity of them business institutions are able withhold as NRA be the coluna on or olduna not for call businesses them we think say get for pay areas in terms of tax.
Musala say this. The NRA under Regulation 73 of the Public Financial Management Regulation, they are under obligation 60 days after the end of the financial year for publish in a gazette and a widely circulated newspaper the list of all persons, businesses and organizations where all government area. So area names not so secret.
The program Good Morning Salon they continue, and inside the studio we still get a studio guest Honorable Hon Tawa Conteh. As today we look at the audit report of 2023 and also don't they talk about 2021 and 2022 audit report in terms of waiting in fair note and hostage then day. Before we look at the 2023 proper, we still on the 2021 and 2022. I don't mention some of the things that we on a fair note inside the previous audit reports them. In this moment we there, so hostage there past report here did to you on in terms of the 2021 and 2022. And I don't conclude.
Well, you work about with the ask for the report. I know the comments work about in business. I need to work about.
So I bring them up.
Well, I just draw my attention to them. But the reports for 2021 and 2022 we will review will be out hopefully this week. They fine tune them. We work with body, with partners, the audit service. Follow, make sure say everything is captured for the public for understand how far would they implement some of the recommendations them. There are those recommendations then because of time we will for look into, we will get for the continue for look at as we progress with this 2023 reports and make sure say we bring out the report then they form them as an excerpt of 2021 stand out reports we go in at the website. But generally I think what we did in the 4 months we took over, I am satisfied with it, particularly with the ministries, departments and agencies and the local councils, because we're able to look at the councils them all and it give we a clear insight as to how we for progress with the councils then going forward. So now in this year we know they go na Poloko and call all the northwestern council then na Poloko for can provide explanation. No, we will not do that again. Now we go na districts, then we go take 1 month to go na one region. We examine the districts and the city council them or the local councils them individually, so that we get them for able for exhaustively look at the issues, and we know say when once we lay sanction, that sanction they emit all the requirements and it tick all the boxes. So the experience they will get from that 4 months there and the work code inside that 4 months there, I think satisfactorily, if you work inside 4 months you recover about 30 billion. It is not what we intend, but I tell you there's every possibility that 70% of Sierra Leoneans will be happy that we have taken a giant leap forward.
So now the 2 reports you make that recovery date 2021 and 2022.
Yeah, because most of the issues that will be in the 2021 report now be just a repetition in the 2022 report. Now few different issues they made.
Now talking about the reports during the proceeding or sitting of the PAC on 2021-2022 audit report, issues that become up where the public go and no conclusion on them. One na the Mutskadem na the Minister of Health, and another one na the issue of the passports where the audit reports be show say Salone the benefits from. What are the latest on them and how na conclude them?
Okay, first let's start with the HID-CID agreement. It was an agreement entered into by the government of Sierra Leone in 2013. And in that agreement, strangely enough, government not put any clause for get any royalty payment or any dues or any non-tax payment. So for the last 10 years of that agreement, between 2013, it was signed for 10 years. Between 2013 and December 2023, government no begin no right for the HID-CID represented by NetSpeech for pay any amount to government. Over time, the auditors them enter in 2022. They audited the HID-CID and the Immigration Department, and they realized, say, in good faith, the former Minister of Internal Affairs, David Pandanoa, and the former Chief Immigration Officer, Andrew Jaya Kaikai, they see this 2013 agreement as a faulty agreement, and then engage the supplier, and then get another agreement where the supplier undertake an endeavor for pay 10% royalty on. And the 10% royalty is supposed for start from 2022 in the agreement. But the mistake they made was the agreement was never taken to Parliament. So in effect, the gentleman's agreement that was signed up to, and according to the auditors and in evidence, the supplier begin pay some money. So what thing can end up happening now that there was an agreement ratified by Parliament to supersede that one day. So in effect, the 2022 issues, the way the auditor be raised on HID, CID, will not be able to implement them. Now in 2023, it always the same issues them. But what he do a continuation of the calculation from where it stopped in 2022 to now we don't go up to $744,000. So what we get for do this year and that with the net off what was in 2022, because there was no legal basis for claim down day, because the agreement will be there first, not be get any royalty attached to it approved by Parliament, and we take the difference between that amount there and this amount where it always now weighing about $344,000 for the period where they operate 2023 onto 2024 without an agreement. So we are going to use the agreement now where they enter into between Panda Noah and Ujakaka and the supplier as the basis for calculation of the 10% royalty, and we will calculate them for the period.
How much salon loss in their agreement here?
Well, cumulatively, if you look at the calculation where the auditor do between 2022 and 2023, the amount na $744,000. But if you net off what it put out in 2022 when $429,000 from the $744,000, you will realize the difference is around $344,000, because that 429 we don't have basis to claim it, but the 344 we have a basis to claim it because there was no agreement ratified by Parliament, and he was producing the passport, and that royalty payment we sign up to would now be the basis for the calculation of the 344.
What about Minister of Health, the Mutkadem?
The vehicle, it's an issue that came up again. You could recall that the term we say for assembly vehicle, we gave them time, but it can't meet Parliament, they go on recess. And it's an issue that is still on. We still get for ask them because it's in this audit again on verifiable assets. Asset verification is a very big issue in ministries, departments, and agencies. So we are still going to ask them wherever the vehicles are, and thank God now we have time. We are going to assign one day for one MDA. So we would go, we would make sure we inform them adequately that they assemble all the vehicles and we will verify them.
Okay, already don't throw more highlight or give proper information on 2021 and 2022 audit report. Now we come to the current one, winner topic of discussion, winner the 2023. I mean, the Public Account Committee already don't go through this particular report, and we not only call out institution individual, we get for do explanation inside this report. Take me through this particular one. Any similarity there from previous one, or in your issue totally different?
Like I said, the audit issues they are the same across from where me know the Parliament, from I don't go Parliament, so I don't read that from 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. They are the same. So in this 2023 report, there are standout issues.
Okay.
The auditors, there is a lot of contractual issues. There is issue around Zulab, the OM and C agreement between the Ministry of Information and Communication, then now the Ministry of Communication and Technology, and Zulabs. And there is issue between the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources and Kingo Mines, Leone Rock. They also raised the issue of HID, CID, where critical contractual issues them. So the committee started yesterday. There are lots of other issues. The Ministry of Agriculture, of course, stores the issue of assets, stores left dilapidated, assets given to the ministry, trashers and other machines them. The Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education then give them another rise of about 1,140 something metric tons of rice, where the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Agriculture use your own calculation for determine the sale price, where it different from the prevailing market price, where they sell them, and give a particular vendor of theirs for where they provide services for the school feeding, for utilize them for the school feeding, utilize them, and they were supposed to deduct the amount from in service payments or in invoices. They never deducted such payments. The supplier admits to it. So all of those ones are low-hanging fruits. But now we started yesterday with Zoo Labs. And in Zoo Labs, when the audit reports come out, they put out a newspaper front page where show them all a check of about 191 million or so. So firstly, the 191 million, according to the hearing yesterday, now that not in respect of payment for the OM and C agreement between Zoo Labs and the government of Sierra Leone. According to them, it's a totality of all their tax liabilities or tax payments where they don't make to government. Now in that one day. Secondly, that in that agreement they were mandated. They promised that Salcab was only making 345,000 a year. Now then go take them to 1.8, so they will be paying government 1,800,000 for year annually, and they've operated the facility for about 4 years. So they're supposed for all government $6,300,000 United States dollars. Okay. According to the records and the accounts we see from the accountant general, they don't pay $480,000 of the 1,260,000 they're supposed to pay for the digital development fund, and they not only pay verifiable, they don't pay $2,280,000 United States dollars of the $570,000 where they for pay for the OM and C. So they are saying in their explanation, they are saying that part of the amount they're supposed to pay government now they be used for offset staff liabilities. But my point to them was, one, let us agree that, or let us assume that you did make that payment. Now under whose authority? Okay. They say they have a conclusion. I say okay, let them go with the conclusion. Additionally, them when they inherit Salcab, they inherited Salcab with healthy account balances. So then they talk about the expenditure, but not talk about the revenue with them collect. So I have given them time, and we have written to the banks, all of the banks, for giving now the Salcab account statements from January 2019 to December 2019, January 2020 to November 2020, where Salcab formally hand over to Zoo Labs, so that when they know what in the Salcab accounts, what in they inherit financially, they will net her off from what in them pay the staff. They will know almost per Salcab money they use for pay their staff them back. Okay. They will know almost per their own money they will be able to make a determination now. So the $760,000 owner reports, now the assumed amount will assume say okay, the 2.26 million where they say they pay the staff is included, so they owe government about that. But if we remove the 2.26 million, it means their actual liability to the government and people of Sierra Leone is $3 million.
Continue for the inside the program, as now we look at another issue. Outside the commissioner at the Anti-Corruption Commission, Francis Ben Kaifala, say inside the 2023 audit report, it should say the financial attaché in a Salone Embassy in Ghana not be able to give account for over $80,000. It took this into our media engagement with the Anti-Corruption Commission, but they talk about waiting in Fenot now the 2023 audit report. For more on this, let me listen to Mastan Suare.
As the Anti-Corruption Commission, they continue for look inside the 2023 audit report. We audit service Salon Police BNTM. Outside the commission found out but plenty issue them we go for do with corruption. And as part of their work, now for CC, the old people where they use public couple for service delivery accountable. And as way for make the public know, but the thing them where they inside the 2023 audit report. Make the Anti-Corruption Commission don't engage the media for give updates about the issue them where the commission found out inside the 2023 audit report. Francis Ben Kaifala been starts for talk about the commission enroll where the audit report can come out every year.
We at the Commission always take our time to view these reports, and then we consult with Parliament, who by constitutional mandate have primary control over the Auditor General's report, and they also have primary responsibility over the Auditor General's report. But I have spoken with Parliament, particularly Honorable Tawa Conteh, who is heading the Public Accounts Committee, and we have discussed this at length. And I have always maintained since I was made Commissioner two things. One, Parliament has the powers, but by creating the Anti-Corruption Commission in the year 2000, they delegated some of that powers to us, and they did not limit it. There is nowhere in the Anti-Corruption Act where Parliament said that the ACC cannot interact with the Auditor General's report, that the ACC cannot hold people accountable based on the Auditor General's report. Where Parliament intending that, they have full powers to do it. Therefore, we view the Auditor General's report like every other source of information on corruption. So if we see that there are parts or aspects of the Auditor General's report that requires our attention, it is almost the same as a whistleblower, and we have a mandate to act on whistleblowers' report.
The commissioner carry on top of some of the issue them where the 2023 audit reports fan out na different districts and city council than the country.
We have local councils, the same problems. Revenue collected, not banked. Freetown City Council. Freetown City Council, withholding taxes not paid. Payment to contractors without evidence of work. All of them are administrative. Kono District, unsupported payments. Cambia District, withholding taxes not paid. Unsupported payment. Kailahun District, withholding taxes not paid. Staff employment records not submitted. Kwedu New Sembehun City, withholding taxes not paid. PAYE not paid. Fixed asset not available for verification. Revenue not banked. Western Rural, revenue not banked. PAYE not paid. Bombali District, PAYE not paid. Withholding taxes not available. Karine District, PAYE not paid. Withholding taxes not paid. Falaba, withholding taxes not paid. Unsupported documents. Port Loko, City Council, withholding taxes not paid. Kenema District Council, withholding taxes not paid. Kenema City, inadequate staff documentation. Moyamba District, fixed assets not available for verification. Moyamba District, staff loan not recovered. Tongolili District, unsupported payment. Bo District, unsupported payment.
Francis Ben Kaifala continue for talk about some of the issue them where the 2023 audit report fan out na different Salone embassy them na other country them.
If you go to diplomatic missions, the same thing. Revenue collected by individuals were not paid into government's coffers. Embassy of Monrovia, Liberia, staff social security contribution not paid. Embassy of Monrovia, Liberia, NACIS records not submitted. Embassy Monrovia, use of consular funds to settle shortfalls in payments for security services. Embassy of Ghana, Accra, medical expenses not accounted for. Embassy Accra, Ghana, end of service benefits without relevant documentation. Embassy of Ghana, various amounts not accounted for by the finance attaché, amounting to over $8,000 to $8,000, $11,000 and $10,000. Embassy of Conakry, Guinea, NACIT contributions not paid, and the same embassy in Guinea, expenditure of $5,850 not verified. And then we have donor projects and coordination.
The commissioner end up say they don't identify some of the issue here where they inside the 2023 audit report where the commission therefore address quick one for the Society for Radio Democracy. Mastan Soare, the report.
From that report, say the program Good Morning Salon, they continue, and we come over to a studio guest. We're not Honorable Tawa Conteh. You just don't listen to the Anti-Corruption Commissioner with the name out institution them. We fall short under the audit report of 2023, and already the PAC, the Public Account Committee in Parliament, they do the same thing of what the Anti-Corruption Commission they do. Outside the public lie on listening to, or the one that we fall short inside this audit report, who that then get for go account to explain to.
We have a small and what they call youthful exuberance. So I think say the Anti-Corruption Commission get Boku energy for waste. Because if I understand as an erudite lawyer the instruction of the Constitution, subsection 4, subsection 5 of section 119, very clear as to order the Auditor General report. So when you read subsection 6 and 7 of the same section 119, it will tell you say in subsection 6 of section 119 that the Auditor General is subject to the control and authority of no one. But there are two people we get the mandate for action for audit anybody. That is the President acting in the with the advice of Cabinet and Parliament, because the Auditor General is our staff. The Anti-Corruption Commission, maybe the commissioner they present the commission like they cannot function without the Auditor General's report, and that is not it. That is not it. The audit report is the property of Parliament. You see, this is not the second time where Parliament and ACC don't get this issue, but JFK be advising himself accordingly when the former leader of government business Ibrahim Bundu be drawing attention and remind them of what in the law say. So I'd expect say the commissioner will advise himself accordingly. Parliament, the report is submitted to us. If we not make them public, if we not table the report, it can never be a public document. Until we table the report, now they call a whistleblower document. So if we give you the report to keep them, ACC cannot say, oh, they go look at this report. No, it is not the report of public. So for make them public, there is no shady things about Parliament. The ACC they conduct hearing, fine, but not on this audit report. And I have instructed in the last period, and I will say it on public radio, that no MD, no agency no they go to the ACC until Parliament refer such matter to the ACC, because now Parliament in sole rights, sole prerogative by the Constitution, Section 1088 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone 1991, Act number 6, and the lawyer should advise himself. Say anything. I hear in a report say Parliament give power to the ACC. There is no part in the ACC Act of 2000 and the amendment of 2019 recently will do under the sitting commissioner, we give them any mandate for look into the Auditor General's report until it is referred to them. There is no mention of the Auditor General's report. Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
So the position of Parliament in Section 1088, now that anything we inconsistent with this governor is null and void ab initio. Nobody really change it. So the point is, the commissioner must listen to himself. He must listen to good conscience. He must follow the law. And all the issues that this not makes this. You go look at the audit reports. Most of the issues, the way they highlight, these are issues that we are in 2021, 2022 reports. Go to 2021 report. There was the issue of the onion matter of the Ministry of Agriculture. He was looking at it. There's nothing to date. So the point is, Parliament, if Parliament will examine that issue there, Parliament give that issue there, will they give the issue with all the authority? What I mean the authority, all the required provisions, the way the people go down violate and all, will they make your investigation easier? So what would they do as Parliament? And what they happen under me? Maybe in the past the public forbid us say, okay, no, Parliament is not doing this, let the ACC take over, or let the ACC continue to fill the vacuum. I spoke to him on the phone last year. We had a conversation, and in his words, there was a vacuum. Okay. And that vacuum never existed again. This is an integrity issue. There was a vacuum. He told me that. We had that conversation. The vacuum never existed. Parliament is doing its work. So there is no reason why make the Anti-Corruption Commission for feel like without the Auditor General's report, the Anti-Corruption Commission cannot function. That is hell no.
So now, so you believe, say, if
well, that is how he's presenting the picture.
Okay.
That without the Auditor General's report, they will die. They will not die. There are other issues in governance.
You say the ACC not gets anything for do with the Auditor General's report unless we refer matter to them. But just last year when I've been the talk, where I interview you before when I start for look at 2021 and 2022 audit report, make a reference to a statement where ACC been put say nobody no get rights over the audit reports unless the Anti-Corruption Commission. You they say now the ACC not get any rights over the audit reports now Parliament for look into them. Who say ACC put them in power for look into the audit report and bar Parliament not for look at it?
Most are two things I will say. First, now that the ACC is a creature of the Constitution, and the Act way bring the ACC into being styled under Section 106 of the Constitution gives them the powers under an Act of Parliament, and the Act of Parliament takes feed from the Constitution. Yeah, that is one. Secondly, I don't want to say this, but let me say it. Where I sit as Deputy Speaker, I am fourth in line to the presidency. So it shows the level of authority where the command, where I make statements. And the point is, the authority of Parliament in this Constitution, there is only one person where in name mentioned more times in this Constitution past Parliament, and that's the President. And even with the President's power, if you go to subsection 4 of Section 40, we give the President power for enter into agreement, treaties, or foreign on behalf of Sierra Leone. It says treaties they will get for do or agreement will get for do with alteration of taxes. Parliament has to ratify it. That is how powerful we are. You go to Section 60. It says even if Cabinet they look at issues under collective responsibility, Parliament can stop them and say, hold on, let us look into it. So Parliament has a sole power on multiple issues around governance, not to talk of the Auditor General, where Section 119 of the Constitution, go to Section 108, you will see 119 is an entrenched clause of the Constitution. When a Parliament says if we want for do anything in Section 119, we're not able to pass to the people for referendum. So the Commissioner of ACC cannot change the fact that the audit service, their report comes to Parliament. It is the property of Parliament. It is Parliament that look into the report. It is Parliament that should debate the report and refer to a committee therein.
With all this, the ACC still look at the audit report.
They are not looking at it. They held the press conference. Before he held the press conference, let me tell you, he called me. We had a conversation. He sent me the grid that he was reading out, quick fix, investigation. he shared it with me, and he told me in that conversation that before the press conference that he's going to give due deference to Parliament because Parliament and then get rights to the report. These are exchanges between myself and him. He can deny it if he wants to, but I know what I say is true. The integrity issue. So the point now that for most of the things that will happen at the press conference, there are variants with what we discuss. And we've had several conversations around the audit report.
Is it that it defaults from a conversation?
No, I'm not going to say default. So he choose for make a statement where he thinks is appropriate for him as a commissioner and for the commission. But we know they give him any mandates for going near the Auditor General's report of 2023 and going forward. Because Parliament, they set a bar. And this bar, they set so, now a bar where anybody will come after me for sustain because we don't make Parliament as open as possible. So, Musa, come to think of it. Well, as you see Parliament, they conduct public hearing publicly, openly for everybody, live stream. This is unprecedented. So the point is, there is nothing fishy about what we do.
But there is a particular time where certain stage in the Public Account Committee they will engage in certain people we need for explain on certain amounts where they misuse. When they ask journalism for be out, not for witness. I mean that particular session day.
Okay, firstly, now that the parliamentary standing orders give Parliament the power for all particular sessions in camera. And let me tell you this, and this is a kudos and a feather to Sierra Leone's cap. Now the Commonwealth, now Sierra Leone are the only parliament with the old Public Accounts Committee hearing in public. Even in the UK, Public Accounts Committee, go to the UK, the House of Commons website, you will see all the Public Account Committee notices on the House of Commons website where they say the session now in camera. But we are doing it in open. There are issues, yeah, because I don't want to invoke SO 75. There are issues I would ask everybody to go out, let me listen, firstly and understand. For example, if I'm dealing with defense issues, I cannot hold that session publicly. If you not get for do with maybe procurement violation, unsupported documentation, if it has to do with military issues, I will not hold it publicly. Similarly, anything we get for do with the state of the nation's security, a way conflicts public interest, I have to protect the Constitution in Section 104.
Now, Honorable, we look at the issue of the couple they wanna don't collect in 2020 to 2021, and also we wanna don't start 2023 when I get for recover some money them. The concern that people don't know who side their money are they because then they ask for receipts and they ask for the bank them who wanna pay them different money too. The Parliament's account committee go able to make out to the public available the receipt of them money I wanna recover and show the bank them way them money are so day. So if possible one verify, go verify.
Musa, I'll give you 2. Or I'll give you 3. First, go to the NRA account. We have schedules, we have Swift payments where we get confirmation of. You check with SLRSA where Union Trust Bank get amount to be done at the 2021-2022 audit report with the ACC look into. They call them and provide a document for the issue. An issue where an amount was deposited into the account. The deposit was not in the account, but they however have a deposit slip in their possession, and the amount was in limbo of about 477 million. You go ask SLRSA, they will give you the evidence. You go to the NRA account, you ask them for the payment from IS Diplomatic Security, for Most Stephen, for Office Wall, and multiple orders from Marquee Building, from a number of other big businesses. It then at the NRA accounts, the Swift payments are there. We have part of the Swift in our records. You go to the Agricultural Mechanization account, to the BSL. Thank God there is freedom of information bill. We give you rights for access to information. Ask for the Agricultural Mechanization account, and you will see there is about 3-something billion that we cover for machines. Let me finish. I know this is the point. The point is the ACC, we are not accountable to, we are accountable to the people. When the people ask you, they provide evidence, because I have not created an account for PAC. The law who they work with say, when we recover money, it has to go back to the beneficiary account. Until otherwise, it is changed. Or we make an alternate law. There's no way I can amend it. If you go to UADF, go and ask them. They will tell you they received 10.5 billion paid as a result of the PAC work from MNOs. So the monies are everywhere in their accounts. I have given you names. Go and confirm.
The program they continue and from work about now. Inside the program, we dey look at a message on I don't send in line with different issue them we will look at this morning. And this was what they take from a Facebook page from Ismail Sharif. They say, Honorable, I like your energy and strength in your articulation this morning. You're very confident and straightforward. Keep it up.
This one say ACC should know that by law, audit report must be directed to Parliament, and why the ACC should bypass Parliament. This is a gross insubordination from King Solo na 0779819.
This other message from Mystic Nadwazak, they say, in as much as the Ministry of Health and Sanitation has declared health emergency on the mpox, they should be vigilant by ensuring they put proper mitigation measure in place to ensure what happened during the Ebola didn't occur.
This one say, good morning, 98.1. Please, when I ask Honorable about payment of additional land lease Sokfin Agriculture Commune in Samalen, Namalen, has it been paid?
This other one say, does it sound like there is a battle of ownership of the audit report between the Anti-Corruption Commission and that of the Public Accounts Committee at Parliament?
Okay, this one from Lulu Gasparin, our Facebook page. They say, Mr. Deputy Speaker, could you please explain why you are not allowing Melvin Tijan Mansuri to enter Parliament? Is it Parliament not for everyone? How can you forbid someone from visiting a public building? Was the Parliament building built using the Speaker's personal? Okay, I don't believe he has the authority to prohibit anyone from accessing the Parliament.
Another message from a Facebook page from Mystic Nadwazak. They say there is a terms of reference for any institution. I think the Anti-Corruption Commission and the Public Accounts Committee at Parliament should ensure they understand their mandate to avoid conflict in work.
This one say, I hope this hearing will aim to promote accountability and transparency in public financial management by scrutinizing the report finding. Also provide stakeholders and the public with insight into government spending and financial practices over the past. This now from Mark 10 and Englandville.
From Anthony Kentomain, our Facebook page, they say, I think both institutions should work together in the interest of addressing corruption. Or is there a fishy game here that the Anti-Corruption Commission don't want to bring out?
This one, Parliament should collaborate with the ACC in accordance with the Constitution, and the process must adhere to the legal framework to avoid duplication of effort and ensure proper handling of Auditor General's reports.
From Mark 10 and New England Will, says Section 1194 of the 1991 Constitution of Salon Act No. 6 clearly stipulates that the Auditor General must submit the report to Parliament within 12 months to end of the financial year. This report is important because it will highlight any irregularities in the audited account and other matters deemed significant for parliamentary attention.
This one say, waiting at the property them way the PAC don't recover since they start to look at audit reports.
This other one say, when the Public Account Committee started, especially Tawa, it was coming out strong and more visible, but now it don't look all small.
Well, that's not the last one for me for now because of time. Honorable, you don't read the messages there, make you respond to them.
Okay, that's the last one. I want to assure the people of Sierra Leone, say the energy not the change, the energy they continue. Now the same energy they put for every activity. Just that, like I say in the beginning, the period where I come in as Deputy Speaker and the time will be available to we for look at two reports combined, where they may not look at the ACC and maybe the PAC prior. But I think there were a few issues still hanging, and we still have hanging issues there. We still get the onion issue where the ACC still they look at. We still get the issue at the Ministry of Agriculture where we have to do with bid manipulation and changing of bid price, we cost government about 1 million. So there are still issues that will still have to go back to that day. So the energy is the same, but because Parliament be the seats and we get the budget, so I get for the alternate somebody hearing them, then we begin for go upline for the council. Then the issue of the people understanding the law, I had somebody quoting subsection 4. It shows our people are very, very wise. They pay attention to everything. Battle of ownership, there's no battle of ownership. The document is Parliament. That is no battle. The point is collaboration. We have collaborated with the ACC and we'll continue to collaborate with the ACC. Before me, I know there was an MOU between the PAC and the audit service. The merits of the MOU I don't know, and it was for 1 year, and we make and also no MOU with the ACC. So if he wants an MOU with us, I think I'm open to it. Just that we need to understand the text of the MOU and make sure say what thing they do now, what thing we refer to them. Sock fin payments. I don't know about that. I cannot lie because it's not within my domain. The issue of Melvin expulsion. If you look National Geographic, and you go realize say there is this word we say that the savannah and the gay life, the savannah and the take. The parliamentary stand in order, he give the speaker the sole right for gay accreditation to journalists. So he can also withdraw it, but I know it's part of the parliamentary fourth estate gymnastic where they happen across the world, and it will be settled, it will be taken care of, it will be handled. However, the speaker no expel him from parliament. The speaker give him temporary suspension pending investigation on in comments where the speaker refer to. On the issue of public scrutiny of the Auditor General's report and collective benefits out of I think say you could not ask for anything better, because we are doing the hearings in public and they will continue to be in public. There were resistance when I started for doing in public, where I give the media a free hand, where I know they invoke SO75, but I believed in what I was doing. I believe in section 103 of the Constitution. We give the media the right to report exactly what it transpire, and I will continue to uphold that, and we will continue to do as best as possible for make sure say Sierra Leoneans can get the best out of government.
Now, when they continue for look at the 2023 audit report, what in Salone people go expect from the PAC, and also what will be a call to the ACC?
We call to the ACC not to call. ACC is a creature of the Constitution. The Constitution now in the guide all man. The laws of Sierra Leone is a respecter of nobody. Everybody is under the law, and nobody is above the law. So the powers where Parliament give ACC in entrenched clauses in section 73 and 105 in lawmaking, and the laws will style out of section 106.1 for create the Anti-Corruption Act of 2000, give them specific mandate, and then they'll go outside that mandate there. So they should listen to us. They should wait until we finish, and let no MD, no council, nobody will get for do with the audit answer to any call from the ACC until Parliament so refer it to the ACC. And to the people of Sierra Leone, let them continue to be confident, say every penny where somebody no account for in the audit report. And let me tell you what I have done. To date, I have reviewed about 10 ministries, departments and agencies and other handles. I have compiled a list of about 60 names of persons working for government where the name mentioned, where would they communicate to the Accountant General today, then position and the name, where would they give the Accountant General instruction not for pay them people in the rent allowance until we conclude the investigation. So if there are any money where we're not able to account for, we'd already get readily available money for recover the money. So let the people be assured say impunity would end, and we would get enhanced public financial accountability and transparency and effective and efficient use of public funds.
Honorable, ACC said they will continue for give update to the public and engage the media on the 2023 audit reports. So what are the public get for the list?
They have no updates to give because they have no reports to look into.
But they already don't begin doing them.
They organize a press conference and they can organize as many empty press conferences as possible.
Why you call it empty?
Because nobody knows for violate parliamentary order. Parliament is an organ of government. Parliament is not an agency of government. So when we speak with volume and we speak with power.
If then continue, we get for any position from Parliament?
We have already written to him. There's no more position we can state. We have stated the fact. The authorities are there. He's a lawyer. He's a man that is dangerously educated. He should just read that advice.
Why they use dangerously educated?
It's not me. It's his words. It's his words, not to me. He say he's dangerously educated, not to me. I'm describing the man in his exact
in his own words.
In his own words.
Somebody asked if we discover any property during the last audit them.
Well, I tell you, it will take 4 months for Doam, and we now be exhaustively able for physically go verify. And I make this year we are going to do it district by district, agency by agency. And I make this year, if you would look at ministry then a free term, we get extension then at the provinces. We need to discuss the extension now.
Okay.
We they go upline, we look at Ministry of Agriculture in Bo and then Bo activities specific. The Ministry of Agriculture and Free Tongue, let them begin prepare. Say we'll get for Canada store on Friday, and we'll get for Canada all the things that happen at the store. What thing I not take care of, I will charge it into the account of the accountant, into the account of the permanent secretary who is responsible for stores and for giving reports and records. So what will they do now for enforce the law, and we'll keep doing that until we end impunity and make sure say everybody be accountable to the people.
Plenty thank you to you, able guests inside this edition of the program. Good morning, Salon. Honorable Ibrahim Tawa, Conteh, Deputy Speaker of Parliament. We'll be the talk on the 2021, 2022, and 2023 audit reports.